to Miss Street. You ready to subitize with Miss Street? Okay, so how many to make 10 with how many left over? Did you say 1 to make 10, 5 left over? Nickname is 15. What's the real name? 1, 10, and 5 ones. How many to make 10? See it? 1 to make 10. How many left over? 6. I see that as 3 and 3. The real name is 1, 10, and 6 ones. The nickname is 16. Here we go. 1 to make 10. 7. I see 4 and 3 left over. That's 1, 10, and 7 ones. The nickname is 17. Woo. I think you guys know this. 1 to make 10. That leaves 8. Miss Street got that because I saw 9 and I took away 1. So this number is 1, 10, and 8 ones. Our nickname is 18. How many to make 10? How many left over? 1. I saw 5 and 5 was 10, but I knew I had to take 1 away to put it here. That leaves 9. 1, 10, and 9 ones, and the nickname is 19. Good job. So 3rd graders, it's always important for you to be subitizing too. Everybody needs to be subitizing. Everybody. So today we're going to finish up our problem with our good friend Turner. And Turner was selling sticks of candy, or sticks of gum. We'll try to hold it up, see if you can see it. He was selling bubble gum, and he wanted our help to create a chart showing the different bubble gum lengths. So he needs a whole stick, a half a stick, 1/3, 1/4, 1/6, and 1/8. And we did that too. We did it with our clock that we just brought over what we were doing from 2nd grade and just brought it on in. And we've made our own fraction bars, which is huge. Miss Street hopes that you've been able to make fraction bars. And I colored mine just with a crayon. And I did try to make sure what I colored a hole in my rectangle, I did the same in my circle. And boys and girls, we're taking what we did in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade with circles and rectangles, especially 1st and 2nd grade, because you guys learned how to partition into halves and fourths in 1st grade, and you learned how to do 3rds in 2nd grade. That's right, Miss Street showed you with the string. Okay, so here we have all of our pieces we need to make our chart for Trevor. So Trevor wants a chart to show us for his bubble gum, and I'm going to show you just with the rectangles because when we think about length, we think more about rectangles, like a number line, okay? So here's what his chart would look like. We would have one whole piece. Here would be half of a piece. Here would be 1/3 of a piece. 1/4. 1/6. Whoops. 1/6. And 1/8. So that's what our chart would look like for Trevor. I don't know how much Trevor wants to charge for the bubble gum sticks, but we have helped him create a chart so that people can see when they come to buy the gum the different lengths they can buy it in. And Miss Street's messing it up after I already had it one time. Big shocker. Okay, so there's our chart for Trevor. And yeah, we took a whole week to do that. And Miss Street just wants you to know that's okay. If this is a problem in maybe one of your work packets or something, it's okay to go slow and to just do one at a time so you can just understand what it is you're doing and make connections between your prior learning from math. So here I want to show you guys just real quick, and second graders are watching. That's awesome because you do need to know it too, with our analog clock. And when we do this some more we're going to continue our work with fractions next week, looking at different pieces and how they work together. We'll probably do it with our circles too, but I may just draw an analog clock instead of setting all this up. But since I had it for this week, I just decided to keep it for you guys. So 1 whole hour of time in our clock is how many minutes? We learned this in second grade. 60 minutes. That's right. Then Miss Ramsey in first grade has been talking to us, and you guys learned this in first grade, about the half hour. So how many minutes are in half of an hour? And if you can see, I hope you can, I've used my straws and I've just divided my clock in half. And we know from first grade, Miss Ramsey said it several times, half of an hour. Can you see that that's half of, quantity and magnitude. It's the I have 1/2 and 1/2, but the magnitude is not the same. But they represent the same. So we would count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes are in half of an hour. What about, now second grade we didn't get to this, but what about if we divided our clock or partitioned our time into fourths? Now we know there's 60 minutes in an hour. We know that there's 30 minutes in a half of an hour. I wonder how many minutes are in a quarter of an hour. And a quarter is 1/4 of a whole. This can be in dollars, like the quarter, like the silver quarter is 25 cents. Basically what that's saying is there's 4 25 cents in a dollar. So it's like 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25, which is our repeated equal groups. In time, we're looking in 60 minutes. So a quarter of an hour in our time is not 25. We have to figure out. So if I put 1/4 here, looky there. Look at what 2/4 makes. 2/4 makes, what, do you see it? Half, that's not perfect, but half an hour. It's a true story. I love playing with my fraction bars that I made from home on paper. Hope you got to make yours too. If you didn't and you need help, just let me street note. So here's another quarter of time, which makes me want to sing. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way. That's Miss Street Challenge Share and Miss Lisa Burleson. Shout out to you. So how many minutes are in a quarter of an hour? Ringo Rango, Tingo Tango, I can count by fives. 5, 10, 15 minutes are in a quarter of an hour. Let's check here in this quarter. 5, 10, 15 minutes are in a quarter of an hour. Let's check this quarter. I wonder if it's 15 too. Let's check. 5, 10, 15. And that's what we mean by equal parts, equal shares. They're the same area. So there's 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. I know there's 15 minutes here too. That matters. And it, like in quarters, we're talking about, in money, we're talking about 25 cents. So in 1/4, there's 25 pennies. 25 pennies. 25 pennies. 25 pennies. So that makes 100 pennies. True story. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Because in second grade, we're talking third grade. Miss Street knows what grade I'm teaching right now. Okay, so we worked in quarters. Now let's do eighths, because I know my halves, my fourths, and my eighths are in the same family. or related fractions. So I've got my clock partitioned into fourths. Now can I partition it into eighths? This one's going to get tricky. We take each fourth and we're going to divide it in half. Now Miss Street's not going to get into us trying to tell the time like this. Can I? I don't know. Miss Street's having a moment. No, it's in between. And it's okay to mess up. I've tried to share that with y'all like since the beginning of us doing this online learning. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 equal sections of time. Now Miss Street's not going to get into us telling that time because it gets a little more complicated. But we can see when we partition something into eighths. Watch Miss Street put my eighths here. This is an eighth of time. Some of you may already have your calculators out trying to do an eighth of time. Wonder what you would do. Wonder how you would find an eighth of time. 60 minutes. Does that mean 1/8 of 60? These are just things I wonder. So you can see my eighths of time. So really quick, yep, Miss Street's got time. I am going to try not to mess up my eggs. I'm not going to try to put all my eighths back together because of time situation. So third graders, you have to partition into thirds too. And remember what we did with the string with this? Miss Street really liked this. We took a string around the circle. I got to fix that right there, but it's okay. Like I said, it's okay. Took a string around the circle. We laid the string out flat and we partitioned it into 3 equal parts. And then we put the string back around the circle and that helped us see where to partition. So if I'm talking about 1/3 of time, making equal parts here, equal shares of time. And this is something we can do. We can talk about this in third grade. We can do this with our clock. So here's 1/3 of time. Here's 1/3. Oh gosh, I want to sing the song again, but I'm not going to. Okay. Let's see how many minutes are in 1/3. 5, 10, 15, 20. So that means there's 3 20-minute segments of time in one whole hour. Let's look here at this third. 5, 10, 15, 20. Get out of town, it's true. Last third, 5, 10, 15, 20. So in 1 hour, we can have 3 20-minute times. So if we were to make a schedule, you could say, you know what, for 20 minutes from 11 to 12, I've got to do 3 things. I'm making it up. 3 things. So from 11 to 11:20, I could color my picture. From 11:20 to 11:40, I could eat my snack. From 11:40 to 12, or that would be called noon, I'm going to work on my math. True. And then last as third graders, we partitioned into 6 equal parts. And so to do that, we just take our thirds. The Street's having a moment, and that's okay. I don't know. Miss Street messed up, and that's okay. I take my thirds, and I just partition in half. And we're not going to go into how much time that is. If you want to, that's fine. But let's look at our 1/6. And so what we're saying here, we're relating this to time that we've been doing in first grade and second grade. Whew! It's a lot, I know. But we're saying when we talk about equal shares, equal parts, partitioning into equal, we're talking about it just means the same amount of time or space or area. So this is 1/6 of time. This is 1/6 of time in 60 minutes. This is 1/6 of time. I can see how many minutes that is. If you can see how many minutes that is, I want you to put it in the comments. So, third graders, we got our chart made for Turner for his bubble gum, for the slices to sell, and we've also extended our work into circle partitions with our clocks from 1st and 2nd grade. Next week, 3rd grade, we're going to move on to our next fraction standard, and I hope you can save your fraction bars, and Miss Street's going to put hers in a sandwich baggie because we're going to use these guys like a lot, okay? I love you. I hope you guys have the best weekend ever. Miss Street can hear that wind howling outside. I don't like wind. I'll go into that another time. But I love you guys. Have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you back here on Monday.